As a member of the LGBTQIA plus community, I don't know how anyone could support Donald Trump, let alone people who are in the LGBTQIA plus community, which led me to making these videos before he got elected. And now that he has been in office for about a month, I figured, let's answer the question, where are all of the LGBTQIA plus members who supported Trump? Do they regret it? Do they not regret it? Are they still talking about liberal tears? We are going to find out in today's video, catch up with some of our old favorites, and see.
So apparently my wife is like leaving me. I just found out on TikTok. Just because I voted for Trump. I'm done. I don't have any more resilience in me. I don't know why. I don't know why I had to lose everything just because of a vote.
Why did she have to lose everything because of your vote? That's my question. That's what I would want to ask you. Why in the world, if you were part of the LGBTQIA plus community, would you, in good conscience, vote for that man? I think it's really funny that they talk and have talked about liberal tears and most of the queer community being woke and all of that stuff and crying over different things that have happened, which is wildly justified because our rights are actively being taken away every single day. And you're gonna sit here and cry and complain and wonder why your wife is leaving you because of quote unquote a single vote. I'm surprised she didn't leave you earlier. Like it's wild to me that you could be in a queer marriage, vote for Trump, and not expect the other person to leave you. They want your marriage to not mean anything anyway. Y'all, it's been a it's been a rough time. But honestly, people who voted for Trump, I have very, very little sympathy for any of the consequences that they are now facing. And I'm not surprised that this woman's wife left her whatsoever.
Ariel, how could you be a lesbian and still support Trump? He erased the LGBT mentions from federal websites. That's not completely accurate. The federal government did not remove mentions of LGBT from federal websites. President Trump did in fact say that there will only be two recognized sexes and genders, male and female, and he created an executive order stating just that. In conjunction with that order, the agencies took down websites in order to update them with new language that removed the gender ideology with them. And I also had covered this in a previous video. When looking at the update to the State Department travel website, the administration did change the page that discussed LGBTQ people when they are traveling out of the country. And they reference these countries and laws that might be against homosexuality. He didn't remove the entirety of it, he just removed the TQ+, as well as the section of having an X gender marker on your passport, because he also removed that option. The thing is that this information is mostly still valid for the TQ+, because the majority of the TQ+ still fall into LGBT categories. They don't, and they're an actual traditional transsexual and they blend in, then they kind of have nothing to worry about. Basically just removed most of the activism language provided by queer theorists. I would probably keep it at LGBT because I do think some transsexuals do need the information provided. But in my opinion, as you guys know, the Q+ is mainly just a political ideology at this point.
I don't even know how to begin that because within his first week, he got rid of the T in all of the federal mentions of the LGBTQIA plus community. That is a fact. He has done that. He has also repeatedly gone after the trans community. If you want to sit here and tell me that the trans community is not part of the LGBT acronym and that those communities haven't always been connected, you can go f yourself. Go f yourself. I don't care anymore about being nice to these people. I don't. This is wild. And also, there are states right now that are calling for the reduction and getting rid of civil rights for trans people You really don't think they're going to come after the LGB next? Idaho's already trying to bring it to the Supreme Court. They want to get rid of marriage equality. You really don't think your rights are next? They will step on the trans community and go right over you two. They will step on every single queer person because they do not want queer people to exist. They do not want trans people to exist. They have used the word eradicated. That is genocidal language. And it's insane to me that there are grifters and there are content creators that are part of the LGBTQIA plus community that are still perpetuating this bullshit ideology. They go after trans people and they will come after you too. They will always go after a marginalized group to see if anyone cares and then get more and more emboldened. That's why you should care about them getting rid of the T. Other than the fact that like you should care about trans people in general, trans people have always been the target of people who try to do these kind of regimes. If you want to go take a look at Germany, they also did that. They did that with disabled people and trans people first. It's wild to me that she would put this kind of misinformation and then actually say, oh yeah, I do think there are some trans people who like need these kind of protections. They want to eradicate the trans community and they will come for lesbians, bisexuals, and gay people next.
They've lost it. They've absolutely lost it. I'm tired of it. They keep saying that because I support MAGA and Donald Trump that I'm having my rights taken away. Well, what rights am I having taken away? Really? I can only think of one. You know what right's been taken away? The right of a radical left ideology to appropriate my medical condition and attack everything I love. So for that, Mr. President Trump and the Trump administration, I want to say thank you. I love you. Keep fighting. Keep doing what you're doing. To everybody that voted for Trump, I want to say thank you. I love you. We are family. MAGA.
This is disgusting. It's so wild to me that there are actual trans people out there that are still supporting this man when he has taken away any mentions of trans people in federal language, when he has literally said there are only two sexes and you cannot change them, aka he doesn't believe that trans people exist. He has also put a travel ban on trans people because they will see the gender that is on your passport or your ID, and if they clock you or if you had it reversed back, because a lot of trans people have been having it reversed back when they get their passports, they'll see that as falsified documents. I do not understand, and I don't want to understand why there are trans people out there who support anything to do with this man. I am so angry. I'm so angry and so pissed off, and it's insane to me that there are trans people who support him. It's insane to me that there are other people in the community that support this man, still support him, even after all of the stuff he's done within a month. It's been a month and they still support him, and they still are pushing this ideology that the rest of the queer community is radical for some reason, or out of their minds for being scared or being worried, gaslighting the rest of the queer community because they're bootlickers. I have no sympathy for these people whatsoever, because the rest of the community is going to be harmed because of them and their decisions. I have no sympathy whatsoever.
You guys, I'm not a perfect person. And I genuinely, no bullshit. I'm saying this probably honestly for the first time. I'm sorry. I'm actually sorry to my community. I feel like I fucked up. And I understand that maybe I did have some push, but I know it's not my fault that Trump is president right now. I feel like regardless of if I made the videos I made or not, we would still be in this position. I don't think I have that much power, but I still feel a little bit responsible for it. And with all the bullshit that's going on now, with the passports, with my license, with just acting like trans people don't exist. Anytime Trump gets up on the podium and he's like, there is male and female, removing the T, removing trans from any official government documents. I am so fucking sorry. I didn't think it was gonna be taken this far. I really didn't. And to be honest with you, even the sports thing now, even though I don't know the answer, it's Bruh, like, I've been transitioning since I was 15. I don't have big fucking arms. Like, I'm 5'7". So what if I was interested in sports, right? I'm not, but what if I was? Should I just not be able to play just because I'm trans? Like, what about the people who transitioned as minors, especially? Like, you think those people should be, those trans women should be competing against biological men that stayed men, that went through a whole male puberty? You think that's fair? And I already know what their response is going to be. Oh, well, you chose to be trans, so deal with the consequences of your decisions. It wasn't a choice, but we're never going to agree on that. And I think that's what it really comes down to, is these people really think this is all a fucking choice. I didn't choose to feel this way. You think I wanted to be trans? I would have given anything to be born normal, to just be a normal girl. That would have been fucking amazing. But like, I'm not. And honestly, it's probably a blessing in disguise, because if I was born a normal woman, I probably would be a Trumpy. I honestly, thank God I'm trans, because at least I have some fucking empathy. It might have taken me a while because I didn't have any a few months ago, but now I do. Now I'm really starting to see the bigger picture. So again, to the community, to my community, I'm sorry. And I'm going to do everything I can to get us out of this. I hope we can all come together and we can just convince the majority of the world that this is fucked up. And we can move on from this shit in 4 years. I hope we can move on from it in 4 years.
I think it's a little late. I think it's a little late for, and I'm sorry. I think in Kelly's situation, I think she is mostly sorry that it's starting to affect her, which happens to a lot of conservative white people, whether you're cis or trans. As soon as it starts to affect you, then you start to complain. And we're starting to see this not only with the trans community, but in the cis community and people in general being affected by all of these policies and bills and legislation and tariffs that he's implementing that are now affecting white people, and they're starting to be upset about. You should be upset that anyone is hurting. You should be upset when trans people of color, when immigrants are being hurt, are being deported. You should care about other human beings. You should have empathy for other human beings that don't look like you. But a lot of people will come to this conclusion, especially white people will come to this conclusion when it starts to affect them. Like she said, her passport's being affected. Her ability to travel is being affected because of this. People like this only care when it starts to affect them and their lives and how they go about their lives. Is it fair? Is it acceptable to accept their apology? I think that depends on you. I think it depends on how empathetic you're willing to be. However, for me, it's more of a, it's too late because we're already in this situation and you sold out your own community. People are so selfish. It's wild to me. It's absolutely wild to me how selfish people will be until it starts to affect them personally. We literally didn't have to be in this situation whatsoever. And I don't know how it's going to quote unquote get better in 4 years because I don't see this. I'm not going to talk about that right now, but God, it's wild to me that people before this, those other TikToks, hers is wild to me. I cannot fathom being part of this community and ever for a millisecond thinking this man would do anything for us. I just don't. I can't wrap my mind around it. Thank you all so much for watching this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. I know this was a rather serious video and I got a little how I got as a trans person, as a non-binary person, as someone who is part of the queer community. It's been very rough the last 5 weeks now. It's been very hard to keep going, be positive. I've tried my best, and being off the internet a little bit and not making as many videos has helped a little bit, and I'm going to be trying my best to be positive for other people. It's very hard right now, especially because I don't know at what point they might take this channel away from me. And I know a lot of people might hear that and think I'm being dramatic, but we don't know what's going to happen. And it scares me because I love this channel and I love this community. But I'm here. I'm queer. I've always been this way. And I love it. I love being who I am. and I shouldn't have to hide that. I shouldn't have to be ashamed of that, and I should be able to live my life. I just want to be alive, which is something I never thought I would say because it took me a long time to want to live. But we're gonna live out of spite. We're gonna make it through this. Sorry for getting so heavy. I promise my next few videos won't be this bad. Actually, there's gonna be some more stuff that I talk about in the next upcoming videos. If you want to see more LGBTQIA+ content, please think about supporting my Patreon. Again, I don't know if I'll ever get demonetized. I don't know if this will ever go away. That's the best way to keep up with me. I have direct access to everyone that way. I have a tier as low as $1. There's free memberships. There's a $4 tier, $14 tier. Yeah, I would love as many of you on there as possible. Because like I said, I don't know what's gonna happen to this channel. And I love making content for all of you. It's literally my favorite thing in the whole wide world, and I want this to be my job, and I want to continue to do this. So thank you all so much. Again, I promise my next video is not going to be this like this. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.